Hey everybody, welcome. This is our very first live podcast of What Women Binge.
This is crazy.
I know you're excited.
I'm so excited. These are my people.
We are really excited that ICCC Con has invited us to be here today. I'm a Star Wars fan for sure, and you're a Star Wars geek, maybe?
Oh,
what would you say?
Yeah.
Nerd?
I think I've earned that label now.
Fangirl?
I married into geekdom, and it has rubbed off on me, and I love it. I love it.
You do.
I've been to many Star Wars conventions now.
And now we get to do a live podcast from one. So we're super excited. And I'm going to give you guys a little intro of who we're going to be talking to today, because we have a special, this is our May the 4th be with you episode of our podcast.
Yes.
So couldn't be more appropriate than being here with you guys and our guest today, which we are super excited about. So I know you guys, I think you guys know who's coming in here, but for those at home that don't maybe, our guest today, she's not only an actress, she is an inspiring entrepreneur and fangirl trendsetter with her voice for female fandom with her company, Her Universe, which is groundbreaking fangirl fashion company, which she founded in 2010. And now she has added author to her list of accomplishments. Her roles as an actress include playing Jan Brady in the TV movie The Brady Bunch in the White House back in 2002, Muffy on Disney Channel sitcom That's So Raven, Ms. Cole in the film Alice Upside Down, just to name a few things. But we all know and love her as the voice of Ahsoka Tano in Star Wars. Let's see.
We're big fans.
I mean,
in our
it's Star
house.
Wars, it's the Clone Wars, it's the Rebels, it's the Forces of Destiny, it's the Rise of the Skywalker in the movie, right? She did the voice at the end of Rise of the Skywalker, which I think is super cool. And she, at this very, very special con, as I told you, this is our very first live show. So we thought this was a wonderful chance to celebrate May 4th with all of you and our wonderful guest, Ashley Eckstein. So let's bring Ashley in. Welcome to What Women Binge. Hi. How are you?
Hi.
You were out there busy signing autographs, weren't you?
Oh, yes.
All right, she's here, people.
She's here. Ashley. Thank you so much for being our very first live guest on our
way.
podcast. Yes. We've never done it live before, so we're so excited. What a perfect place to be. Perfect guest.
Oh, my gosh. I'm honored to be your first live guest.
We're so excited, and we have so many questions for you.
We need you to tell us everything.
Let's talk since we're at
I was
ICC.
born in Louisville, Kentucky.
Excellent. And how many times have you been to the Derby?
Zero.
Zero?
Can you believe it? I know. My parents are in the audience.
No way.
And, well, I was raised in Orlando, Florida. So you know
Oh,
Orlando well.
I do, because you were raised basically on the Disney lot while I was being raised on the Nickelodeon lot, the Universal Studios lot. So that's funny, yeah. And you actually have a very fun tie-in to Disney and something in common with Amanda here, which is that you had your wedding reception at Disney World.
Yes, wait, did you have a wedding reception?
I got married and had our reception at Disney World.
Stop
Yeah,
it.
our reception was in the Great Movie Ride.
Oh my
magical.
goodness. That's incredible.
Where was yours?
So our ceremony, my husband was born and raised in Orlando. So the ceremony was at the church that he was like born into and raised in. But we had the Disney Magical Express buses drive everyone to the ceremony and then back to Yacht and Beach Club.
Oh, beautiful.
So, yeah, it was one of my favorite resorts. And
They know how to do a wedding.
yes, they do.
It was, I'll never top that. That was a party.
You guys have that in common with Joey Lawrence, a former co-star of mine. He
way.
he got married there as well. It's like it's its own little thing. Like you could start a little fan club of just people that get married at Disney.
Well, it's funny. My sister was in the very first episode of the TV show.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, it's
This comes full circle a lot today, I think.
Yeah.
yeah, no, it does. They she was planning on having a wedding there, and then it was like 3 weeks before her wedding. She got a call saying, would you mind if we filmed your wedding? But they didn't say for what, but I could tell it was like a Disney number, and I was like, this is legit. This is legit. Do it. And then come to find out, it was for Disney Fairy Tale Weddings, the show.
Wow, very cool.
So it was a lot of fun.
That is super cool. So also Nickelodeon, real quick. We have that's where I was living down there in Orlando, and you were on Guts
I was
with Mike O'Malley. Yes. I was probably hiding in the like backstage area because I loved watching.
Is that the same sound stage where you filmed Clarissa?
Right next. There's only two. There were two at Nickelodeon, and then all the dressing rooms are in between, and the GAC kitchen and all that stuff, slime kitchen, whatever they called it. And it was all the sort of gold rooms were in between, and then the two sound stages. So I think Guts would film there sometimes, and because I ran into Mike O'Malley a lot. Like we became buds.
So there's some overlap.
There is a little overlap.
I think there might be more overlap than you think.
But you won. Did you win? What'd you do? How'd you do on
Okay,
Guts?
so first of all, I have to tell you, like, I am a huge fan of yours. Like, growing up watching you, I'm geeking out right now being on your podcast because being a local girl, and I knew pretty early on I wanted to be an actress. Long story short, I really looked up to you because I wanted to be just like you, and so sorry to make it weird.
No.
I'm totally making it weird right now.
That's what cons are about.
I totally waited outside of your window.
On Sam's ladder?
Exactly.
It's fine. It's not weird.
No,
I think a lot of people did. It's okay.
but I actually grew up right around the corner from the Universal lot. So I went to Dr. Phillips Elementary School.
I went to Dr. Phillips High School.
I went to Dr. Phillips High School.
I actually didn't go. I wasn't allowed on the campus, but but technically my diploma's from there. Yeah.
Yes. So I would literally walk out of French class and then like see Universal Studios.
Yeah. It was literally across the street. Like I would park the car and like there's the high school that I should be going to, but I'm going to go in this trailer over here next to stage 18.
She was on set.
I was working, so I wasn't allowed to go to high school. Yeah.
But so they used to come to our school and just audition kids for Guts or Legends of the Hidden Temple.
That makes
so
sense.
it was oddly like totally normal. Everyone did it. It's like, oh, what show are you going to be on?
Yeah.
And I look back now and I'm like, wow, that totally wasn't normal.
Well, and I think that high school, the diplomas that were handed out from that high school went to like the Mickey Mouse Club, and like I know like Johnny Damon graduated from there, and like all these amazing people kind of like got diplomas from there. I don't know how many of them actually went into the school. I only went in twice to take the SATs, and that was it. That was the only two times I went.
Last weekend I was at a convention with Joey Fatone.
Oh, yeah.
He actually went there because he didn't become really big with NSYNC until after he graduated. But it's an oddly successful couple of years from Dr. Phillips High School.
It's like if you weren't in Hollywood, if you were like shooting outside, if you were part of the entertainment industry in some way, and you were in like Southeast United States, you graduated from Dr. Phillips somehow.
Yes,
it's weird.
You did.
Well, to round out our little Orlando overlap exchange here, I think you guys may have actually met before.
Did we?
And we may actually have a video of it.
Really? When did we meet?
We do. We might have a surprise for you.
What?
Hey, Harvey. Sure look nice today,
Thanks.
especially by comparison.
Libby, the Jungle Cruise wants its shrunken head back. Oh, I'm sorry, that's your actual head.
Hey, Harvey.
There's baby Ashley and baby Melissa.
That's so funny.
I was a featured extra, and I think we had one line, but it was as a group.
Yeah,
like we all said, I don't remember, but it was like, go for it. But that was like my first big acting opportunity. I was a senior in high school, and I just remember you came over when I think during that scene, and you were so kind.
Was
and,
I?
No, you were so kind, and like it's just you never like. That show made a big difference for me where I was like, okay, I want to do this. I'm going to move out to LA and do this. And so thank you.
Yeah, no, that was a wonderful episode too. That was one where we were in Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom hadn't yet opened, and we were the first ones allowed to be in it, so it was super fun.
Cool.
I actually got on a ride there at one point, and somebody had said, yeah, we're on a break. You can go get on a ride. And I got on a ride, and they called. They're like, the sun's going down. We need Melissa for the shot. And I was like, I'm on
with
the
the Yeti
safari.
right now.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm on the safari, and they were like, well, we need you in 10 minutes. I'm like, the ride lasts 21 minutes. I'll try to be back as soon as possible if the giraffes don't eat me. But yeah, that was a really fun episode. That's so funny that you were there for that.
I know.
'Cause I have such fond memories of that.
Well, when Logan reached out, I was like, I actually have a funny story.
That's amazing. Well, enough about Sabrina. I want to talk about Star Wars because we are here at the ICC Con, and of course, all these people are your fans here, and it's just incredible. Like, the character you've played and the places you've been able to go with her, the amount of shows you've done with her. Can you talk a little bit about the best part of playing her?
By far, the best part is this. I mean, I didn't realize how Star Wars would change my life. And it changed my life because of the community. So literally 1 week after the Star Wars movie came out in theaters in 2008, I was getting fan mail from all over the world. Wow. Like, I remember I got a piece of fan mail from Japan and Australia and France. And I hadn't like earned my stripes yet. You know, I was brand new, but it was just people.
I caught it.
I guess I should say I also hadn't earned my lightsabers yet, maybe.
There you go.
But they were literally just welcoming me to the universe. And it was at that moment where I realized, I'm like, okay, this is different than any other role. And I've been a lifelong fan. So to me, it was like winning the lottery. But my character, it's easy to forget because now we have characters like Rey and we have Jin and, Rose Tico and, all these strong female characters. We've had 2 Wonder Woman movies and a Black Widow movie. But back in 2008, when Ahsoka came out, she was groundbreaking. Like, there wasn't female leads.
Right.
And especially Ahsoka was the first female Jedi that was a lead character in the Star Wars universe. And so I knew instantly, I'm like, this is a game changer.
This is a big deal.
Yeah, for the next generation of female fans, this is a game changer. Yeah. I knew, and it actually goes back to, I primarily was a live action actress. Ahsoka was my first voiceover role.
Well, we did list a few of your, we had the Brady Bunch and that's the Raven and Alice Upside Down. Yeah, we named a few other things that you'd been a part of. And obviously you've had a long career. But yeah, but this just takes on another, it's beyond like the amount of the fans around the world. And I can't even imagine like it's.
Well, I think, did you film Clarissa in front of a live audience?
No.
Oh, see, I got to film That's So Raven in front of a live audience. And that changed me because my dream when I moved from Orlando to LA, my dream was to be on the Disney Channel. That was it. I didn't want to win an Oscar. I just wanted to be on the Disney Channel. And I was able to be on That's So Raven, and we would film in front of a live audience. And I remember just watching the kids in the audience. And I saw firsthand how, those kids, like how impressionable they were.
Yeah.
That all of us actors on the stage, whether we liked it or not, we were role models for those kids. Yeah. And I remember making a wish one day, because That's So Raven was ending, and I was like, I wish I could get another role and like a hero, a good role, where I could really make a difference and be a positive role model. Wow. Little did I know that Ahsoka was right around the corner. And so that's what I wanted to do. When I became the voice of Ahsoka, I wanted to be a real life version of her. Yeah. So in my everyday life, an extension of her because she was such a game changer.
I totally think you've done that. I think.
Oh, thank you.
I look at what you've accomplished, not only with your, playing Ahsoka, but what you've done outside of acting, your clothing line. You've empowered women in fandom to express themselves in a way that was never possible before. Oh, and I've watched the transition. My husband and I got married in 2008, and so he's been dragging me to cons and things for years and years, and to see the transition go from, it was mostly women in gold bikinis and kind of objectified, and to now women can really express themselves. They have powerful characters to cosplay. They have clothes that are exciting to wear and flatter their bodies. And
well, for those that don't know, so you started Her Universe, right? Mm-hmm. So you're speaking before about them welcoming you into the Star Wars universe, and then you started Her Universe, and it's heruniverse.com, is that right? And so can you talk a little bit, about like where that came from?
Well, it started with a simple search for a t-shirt. Like I'm a female Star Wars fan, and I was just getting out promoting Clone Wars, and I wanted a Star Wars shirt made for me, and I honestly thought they existed. So I did what any girl would do, I went shopping, and I went to the mall, and I scoured the internet, and I came up empty-handed. And I started asking questions about it, and I was told that women would not buy Star Wars merchandise made for them, and so I should just be happy with a men's size small. I know. And so I was like, well, this can't be right, because I see women and girls everywhere. Like, I went to Comic-Con, and it was like, it felt like half women. Right. So I was able to get my hands on the attendance of the top 5 conventions around the world. And it averaged out to those attendees were 45% women.
Wow.
So this was back in 2009. And then I also found out that 85% of all consumer purchases were made by women. So I'm not a mathematician, but I'm like, these numbers are not adding up.
There's something that we can do here.
Exactly. Yeah. So, but I also found in my research, I read story after story of how women and girls were being bullied, and being bullied terribly just for being a Star Wars fan. And that was back when message boards were really big.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so women, if they disclosed the fact that they were a woman, oftentimes people would stop talking to them. They would literally stop the conversation, and little girls were being bullied for just like carrying a Star Wars backpack to school. So I'm like, this is no way to live. Being a fan of Star Wars is a part of you. It's like a part of your heart and your soul.
It's something you should be able to be proud of.
Exactly.
And excited about.
Exactly. So I literally asked myself, what would Ahsoka do? And my answer was that Ahsoka would stand up for fangirls. And I knew nothing about fashion. I knew nothing about, business or licensing. I don't have a college degree.
You just knew that certain body parts don't fit in men's t-shirts.
Exactly. And so, I started her universe in June of 2010.
And it's awesome. I own many of your pieces.
Taken off.
You.
It's like everywhere. And now you have their universe, right?
It's actually our universe. So a lot of people said, well, what about his universe? Like, almost right away, when we launched her universe, I started getting questions like, well, what about his universe? And I would point to the rest of the convention floor, and I'd be like, well, this is his universe. But my mission from day one was not to say that this world was just for women and girls. It's not just for women and girls. It's not just for men and boys. It's for everyone. So I did say that if it ever gets to the point where we start making stuff that's not available to guys and to boys, then we'll branch out. Yeah. And sure enough, as we started to do fashion, the guys were being left out. Like, the girls started getting all the good stuff.
Yeah.
And the guys were like, we just have t-shirts. So we branched out to our universe, and now we do fandom fashion for everyone. So men, women, boy, girl, unisex. There's something for everyone.
And there's something else I want to tell you about, because I know being a role model and being a strong figure for girls is really important to you. My daughter Golda, especially, is an Ahsoka fan.
I love the name Golda.
Oh, thank you. But we did the Galactic Star Cruiser for spring break, which was awesome, y'all. It's so cool. But they do a fashion show the first night where you can wear your costume. And out of a sea of Leias and Reys, there was my lone Ahsoka Tano.
No way.
And she marched down that red carpet so proud, and the entire crowd cheered so loud for her.
Oh.
It was, Logan and I were just weeping. We were so proud of her. So you're successful in your goal, and I hope you know that.
Thank you. Well, you know what? I do think what is successful is I'm starting to get parents coming through the line saying, "Meet my daughter Ahsoka." So I can tell it's the generation that grew up on Clone Wars. They now have kids, which is scary.
Oh,
yes.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I know. And so now there's a little generation of Ahsokas running around.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah, that's so fun. Her universe also extends to other, not just Star Wars, right? It went outside the Star Wars.
Yeah. We started out with just Star Wars. We literally launched a company. I think we had 9 T-shirts, and that was it. And sure, I hoped that one day I'd be able to add other licenses, but I was just trying to get some cool Star Wars T-shirts. And eventually we were able to add Marvel and Doctor Who, and we added Star Trek and Battlestar Galactica.
Did all this come from the convention circuit? Was this all kind of worked through?
Yeah. So to make Star Wars t-shirts, you have to get a license, which I didn't know that, by the way. Like, I just thought that Star Wars, they just made all their own t-shirts themselves. So once I figured out what licensing was, they used to hand out blanket licenses to apparel companies. So they would just give an apparel licensee a license for the whole family. And they didn't carve it out as like, you do men and boys, you do women and girls. So when I came along, and they're also pretty exclusive because they don't want too much competition because they want everyone's business to succeed. So when I came along, they were like, well, we already have too many licensees. And so I was one of the first contracts where they carved out, like I almost got my own little sandbox. They were like, well, somebody else has the license for the whole family, but we'll give you the license just for your own website, conventions, and Disney parks only. Because I was doing an event at Disney parks, and it was really restrictive because it was very hard to grow a business and be successful being so restricted. But what it forced me to do, which was the key to our success, because they flat out told me, they're like, at first they told me no twice. And it was the best thing they could have done because I wasn't going about starting my business the right way. I needed to get a reputable business partner and really legitimate manufacturing capabilities. So once I went about it the right way, they were fully supportive, but they did warn me. They were like, well, we've never been successful at selling merchandise to female fans. They're like, what's going to make you different? And I said, well, I'm going to go grassroots. I'm going to go directly to the fans, and I'm going to ask to do this together. And so starting out at conventions was actually the best thing that I ever could have done because I asked the fans for help. I said, united we stand, divided we fall. If we want to make this a more inclusive environment, which everyone at the cons did, it was just like the societal stereotype that was, this world is just for men and boys. But if you were actually at the con, it was very inclusive. Yeah. And so I asked fans for help. I said, I can't do this alone. Will you support me? And sure enough, not only did women and girls support me, but men and boys did as well. And so we were able to grow this fan base organically and like grassroots. So by the time we did get a broader license to go into retail, we had a huge, I call it our army behind us because, and I feel like I'm getting very business here, but the reason it didn't succeed before is in retail. So if you were going to a Hot Topic store or a Target store, is nobody knew it was there. Fans had given up. They weren't going to Hot Topic or Target to look for a girl's Star Wars shirt.
They'd already done that.
And they failed. So, and if you go to retail and you fail, you never get a second chance. Right. So by the time we made it to retail, we had an entire army that was ready to support with their dollars. And that's how we were able to be a success. And so we were able to grow from there. And eventually at the end of 2016, I actually sold her universe to Hot Topic and we joined forces because cool. I say my baby went off to college.
Yeah, but you're still actively working with it.
Yeah, I continued to run the company for Hot Topic for 4 years, and now I don't have to run it day to day, which has been a huge blessing. And I get the fun parts.
Yes. Speaking of fun parts.
Well, before we get to that, Amanda, did you know that psychiatrist visits can cost up to $500 a session? And then traditional therapy visits are over $100 per session. That can add up to thousands of dollars a year.
It's so expensive.
So Cerebral is an online mental health service that offers prescription medication, counseling, and therapy for anxiety, depression, ADHD, insomnia, and so much more.
It's also affordable, and their treatments are 1/3 the price of traditional therapy. Treatment options are available with or without insurance, and Cerebral is in-network for several insurers, and they're working every day to grow their partnerships. With in-network, your monthly cost is even lower.
75% of patients who report improvement in their depression see results in 60 days. Cerebral clinicians are also rated 4.9 out of 5 by their patients.
That's amazing.
So our listeners today of What Women Binge, you guys can receive 65% off your first month of medication management and care counseling at Cerebral.com/binge.
Go to Cerebral.com/binge for 65% off your first month. That's a total of $30 to get started. Join Cerebral today on their mission to make quality mental health care accessible and affordable for all. Thank you, Cerebral, for sponsoring What Women Binge.
So the show is What Women Binge.
I know, I'm excited
to
to
ask you
about what you're into.
what are you into right now? So everybody here obviously is into Star Wars, right? And into Ashley.
We all have that in common.
So now we want to know what you're into.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I have a confession, and my husband's in the audience. He's laughing already. So, with work, because my husband used to play baseball, and so he was always busy, and his only downtime was at home resting prior to a game.
Wait, you said used to play baseball, but he was an MVP World Series, right.
So it's just baseball.
You used to just play baseball. Just hit a few around the yard. Okay. Sorry, go on.
No, I'm usually the proud wife that's like bragging, and I was like,
You just jumped that. I just wanted to bring it right back. Real quick.
Yeah. Well, he tells people now, they're like, well, what do you do? He's like, I'm just a bag carrier. And I was like, no, and I'm the proud wife. I'm like, he's won 2 World Series and a World Series MVP. He's not just a bag carrier.
He's a bag carrier with rings.
Yes. But, he was known as one of the shortest Major League Baseball players ever. And he had to conserve his energy in between games because it was 162 regular season games, like 30 spring training games, and then that doesn't count postseason games. So it's a lot of games. And so in between games, all he would do is rest, and we would watch a lot of TV. But he controls the television, and that's okay because I get to control a lot of other things. Our house is decorated like Wonderland, and he's
and you have your Tea Party Tuesdays.
Yes.
I've seen on your website, or it's a YouTube channel, right?
Yes.
We've invited ourselves.
We want to be on Tea Party Tuesday.
By the way.
Oh my gosh! Yes.
I want to see that set. It's super cute.
Oh, thank you.
If you guys haven't seen it, you have to check it out. Like she sits, you have a guest, right? And you're like it looks like you're in Wonderland, and you're just like having a great little conversation while like.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks adorable.
That's actually my office at Hot Topic.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They told me when I moved, offices into Hot Topic, they're like, yeah, you can decorate it however you want. And I'm like, really? and I walked in one day and I hadn't decorated it, and they made it look very corporate, like they had a big TV on the wall, and I panicked. I'm like, oh, what is this? I had monitors, and they're like, it's your office. Don't you need this? And I was like, no. And so 5 days later, it was that set. It was Wonderland. And I was working from a tea party table, and they're like, what are you doing? And I'm like,
I'm living my life.
Exactly. My husband, TV is his thing. So, and it's our thing together, especially when I was working her universe, it was, there's 4 years straight. I didn't take a single day off. It was 7 days a week from 6:30 in the morning till 11:30 at night. And we would stop and eat dinner together every night and watch a show. But everyone expects me to say, oh, we're caught up on all the Star Wars and Marvel shows. No, it's pretty much Survivor, Big Brother.
A reality lady.
Oh, yes. I'm a total reality buff.
You like competition.
Competition. We just finished Dexter and New Blood. We're big, 48 Hours mystery fans.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we watch a little bit of everything.
What about actually, we've got a list of movies we're going to ask you.
All right.
So what is your favorite movie genre?
I love a good romantic comedy or comedy. Obviously, I'm a big Disney fan.
Yeah.
Huge Disney fan.
How many times have you seen Encanto?
Believe it or not,
you not
only
watched?
1.5
Oh, okay.
times.
Okay.
I know.
But you saw Bruno twice, right?
I've seen Bruno many times. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have nieces and nephews.
Okay, so you're,
But surprisingly, they're not overly into Encanto. They love it, but it's not
it's
on
really
repeat.
The soundtrack.
The soundtrack is great. Yeah, I actually will ask Alexa to play it sometimes when I'm just hanging
It's a
around the
great
kitchen because whenever there's like one lyric I can't quite get, I'm like, I have to listen to the song because I got to figure out that lyric.
I'm the aunt that they all come to blare Disney songs, and then we just sing them at the top of our lungs and dance it out in the middle of the living room.
I love
That's
that.
the best.
I love a good Let It Go. I
Let
will
it
just
go.
let it go.
I haven't heard that one in a minute. I got to go back to that one. Yeah, that was a good one. Do you have an app that you like to play, like when you're waiting for the doctor or you're on a plane? Yeah.
Instagram.
I mean, who doesn't, right?
I know. I'm ashamed to admit it's kind of become this subconscious thing that I multitask and I can have a full conversation and scroll Instagram all at the same time and do both perfectly well.
That's impressive, actually.
So what's your Instagram handle? Just so people can find you.
It's just at Ashley Eckstein. Okay. So, and I had to fight to get that. Somebody had taken my name and started a fake account and then just dropped it and they didn't use it. And I had to
You have to send your ID. You have to prove who you are. And I had to do that. It's insane. They make you go through. It's worse than going through TSA. It's
it is.
You're
I have
trying
not had to deal with that.
in order to get the little check, the little verify and all that, and get your actual name without putting the real or official or something around it.
Yeah.
What about? Is there a TV villain that you love to hate?
Adam Driver on Girls. I literally hated his character from Girls, hated his character. So when he came to Star Wars, all I saw was his character from Girls.
Now I can really hate you.
And I have heard, I haven't had the pleasure to meet him, but I've heard he is literally the nicest guy. And he also does so much charity work.
Han Solo.
And I know. And so not only Kylo Ren, he's just, hated for Kylo Ren, even though Ben Solo, he redeemed himself, but all I see is his character from Girls, and I'm like, ugh,
Can't get past it.
I can't get past it.
That's a good one.
So I feel bad. I'm going to have to apologize to him when I meet him eventually.
Do you have a favorite workout song? Do you have a favorite workout?
Oh, my favorite inspirational song is The Middle by Jimmy Eat World.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love it. If you're just having a bad day and again, just need to just dance it out and just say, screw it. That's my song. But to really get the angst out, I love Christina Aguilera, Fighter.
Oh,
I love
that's a good
that.
one.
Or even,
I'm going to put that on my playlist. I forgot about that one.
yeah, that one's good. And then Destiny's Child, Survivor. That's
yeah. Look at you.
That was in the Orange Theory playlist a lot.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
That's true. But I haven't heard Christina Aguilera in a while.
Oh, it's good.
That's a really good one. What about, is there a TV show that you gave up on?
Yes.
You were I cannot finish this show. It's done for me.
I hate to say it, but The Bachelor. I know.
Was there a certain Bachelor that made you just, or the whole show?
2 seasons ago, it just kind of went off the rails.
Oh, with Claire? No, that was Bachelorette. Never mind.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of Claire, but then it was right after Claire. It went off the rails. Yeah, and
Is it all the sleeping around? Is it too much just seems like it's not authentic anymore?
This has started to come out in everyone's memoirs. And I'm I love to be spoiled. Now I know this topic is controversial because is that controversial?
Yeah.
How do I say
Controversial.
it? Controversial.
You fit right in. We correct each other's words all the time.
I know. So my husband doesn't like to be spoiled. I love to be spoiled. I'm one of those people that the second the season starts, I go to Reality Steve and then I read who wins.
Oh, you know everything.
I know everything.
My people.
I love it. And I mean, we are big Big Brother fans. And so I go and I read, all the spoilers.
You don't
before
like
the
conflict,
episode.
do you?
It's not that I don't like conflict, but I like the truth. And so sometimes the truth of what's going on and then the edit, what actually happens is 2 different things. Mm-hmm. There's what they show on TV and then there's what really happens behind the scenes.
Oh, yeah.
That's when sometimes it loses me.
I get that. Okay.
What
I'm
about-
a no conflict person. I'm
Yeah,
I'd rather know what's coming and be prepared emotionally.
Yeah.
I'll read the last page to her sometimes. A show that you love to watch as a couple. I mean, you already brought up some, but is there one that's the one that you is the go-to if something?
You can't watch it without him.
Not 48 Hours Mystery, because we always watch that, and then it's always about a husband and wife of the the husband, got rid of the wife. And
Earmuffs.
I know my sister this is how bad it is. My sister was telling us a story the other day, and both my husband were like, we were like, oh, well, he's doing this behind her back, and she better watch her drink. I bet he's putting something in her drink. And I was like, this is terrible. My
brain goes here right now.
I know. So not that show.
Like, is there
All the
something over the years like that you maybe like? My husband introduced me to Friends, and now I like go to bed watching Friends every night. Like that, if we can't find something else that we agree on.
But the problem is we're not even really violent people, but we just finished Dexter and we're about to watch Ozark. Like, we sound horribly violent. We're not.
Ozark is a very popular one. So many people have said
Yes,
Ozark and
Ozark's-
Yellowstone.
Yeah.
We love.
There's a lot of violence.
Yellow Jackets. There's so many that are so violent.
We binge watched Ozark during the pandemic, and so we're about to start Ozark. So we're very excited about that. I think it's not necessarily the show. It's about doing it together as a couple.
Yeah.
Because that's our time where we don't let our phones distract us. We don't, let it's our time together. It's our bonding time. And so I think that's what it is.
Yeah. I find it really hard to find something my husband and I like, but when we do, it's sort of like, yes, we did it. We found something. Now we have 10 episodes, and hopefully we don't binge them too quickly, because then you're like, well, that's done. What next?
Oh, I know.
You miss it.
It's so disappointing. A show my husband and I do love actually is The Goldbergs.
Oh yeah.
And we love that show. And I don't think your sister would mind me saying this. We think like they, this is a joke, by the way, but we think like they stole his sister's life. And she jokes about it because, there's literally episodes of the show because she calls her kids, like our nieces and nephews, she calls them delicious.
Oh, yeah.
And there's
So she's like
storylines.
Beverly. She's
she is Beverly Goldberg. She is this mother, and there's episodes of the show that she has done in real life, like they've played out almost exact, and like lines that she says. She always like, well, I could have been a lawyer, and she went to law school, and so all these things. So we love the Goldbergs.
Melissa directed it.
I've directed a few. Yeah,
Stop
yeah. We
it.
just had Haley Arentia on, who plays the daughter, and she was just in one of our episodes recently, and she's a doll, and that
my
cast is
gosh.
amazing, and they just got picked up for another season, so they're going to be around for a while.
Such a good show. Well, congratulations! I guarantee you, we've seen several of your episodes. Then
Probably. I did a Thanksgiving episode. I'm trying to think of like specifics, but
I think we've seen every Thanksgiving episode. That is awesome.
is there a book that you suggest everybody read once?
The one that's been pretty profound for me is Start With Why by Simon Sinek.
Okay.
So with her universe, I was given to it by a very good friend of mine named Lynn Hale. She just retired from Lucasfilm, and I say her name because everyone should know her name. She was head of, I forget what her title was when she retired, but it was like president of communications for Lucasfilm. She was there for over 30 years. Lucasfilm would not be what it is today without her. You want to talk about a strong, powerful woman. But she helped me start her universe. Her universe would not have gotten its start if she hadn't have opened the door for me. And I love what I do. I started it to help fangirls. But I was working so much, I was burnt out. And I, got to, just have dinner with her one night, and she could tell I was burnt out. And she looked at me and she goes, Ashley, what's your why? And she had just met Simon Sinek, and she said, I'm going to send you his book. And she said, you need to remember why you started her universe. She said, you've sat here and you've told me about all the problems, all the shipping delays, all the missed orders, all of the technical glitches. She goes, but you need to go back to why you started this company. And she goes, you need to focus on that again. And I did. And once I did that, it shifted my perspective, and I was able to kind of find my fire again and find my energy again. And so everyone should read that book. It's an incredible book.
All right, we'll check that out for sure.
Well, we have just a few minutes left.
So you want to do this or that?
Let's do a quick this or that. And then since this is our first live, I thought maybe we could get a picture with the crowd all together.
Yeah.
Would y'all be okay with that? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Are you ready? This is kind of rapid fire.
Okay.
All right. Documentary or reality?
Oh, Reality.
Comedy or tragedy?
Comedy.
Wordle or Sudoku?
Neither.
Instagram?
Instagram.
Cocktail or whiskey?
Ooh.
Or anything else?
Mocktail, only because alcohol unfortunately gives me migraines. Well, then I know. I'm the person at the party that's the driver because it just gives me horrible
I'm the same way, only because it
migraines.
makes me cranky.
Yeah.
If I drink, I get so nasty. You don't want to be around that.
She also tap dances, which is fun.
I love
that's
that.
the only upside. Drinking. These are the stupid things I'll do.
Elvis or the Beatles?
Elvis.
Surf or turf?
Oh, turf, for sure. I'm allergic to fish, too.
I'm starting to feel a little sad for you.
I know. I'm allergic to dairy, egg, and peanuts as well.
Oh, Lord.
Bless your heart, as we say here in Nashville.
I know.
Okay, movie at home or at the theater?
Ooh, at home.
Okay, this is a very controversial question. Pepsi or Coke?
Oh, Coke all day long.
Thank you. Inside or outside?
Outside.
And not as much fun, but still interesting. Weights or cardio?
Oh, I should say weights, but cardio.
Wait, you don't have your phone on you by any chance, do you?
Oh, shoot. No, my husband has it.
Can
We're
you
gonna
tell
need
us
that.
how many emails you have not read?
Oh, gosh, yes.
Just like to know the number.
78,872.
Oh, Lordy.
She's Team Amanda.
Yes, you are. You're both going in intervention.
Melissa's gonna counsel you
Oh,
now.
my gosh.
You know what? I say, bless her heart all the time, but I think you should say bless this mess because I'm a hot mess.
No, but you obviously have it together. Like, there are some people that can handle that kind of, you have your own organization, I'm sure, in a lot of ways, but it's not an email. So.
It's not.
Well, I hate to wrap it up. I think we could do this all day long.
Thank you for being here.
you all too.
And we hope everybody gets to come out and meet you at any of these cons. You do a bunch of them. I mean, you do a ton of them, right?
Thank you. Yeah, I haven't been able to up until this year, and because I was working so much on her universe that I finally got to travel now. So I'm going all over. I'm doing like 18 different events.
So
and
everybody needs to come out. What are the next few? Like,
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm doing MegaCon, which is in Orlando, which is a really big one. But then it's like our Super Bowl of conventions, Star Wars Celebration in California. So I'll be there.
all right.
We want to thank James Arnold Taylor and Matt Lanter for introducing us to Ashley and making this happen
Yes.
for us today, and ICCCon for having us out.
Yes, thank you guys.
And,
This has been such fun. Thank you to everybody coming in today, and we hope you'll all go meet Ashley. Thank you for being
All right,
here.
if everyone
Seriously.
would come towards the stage,
Yeah,
so we
come
can
here,
all
we're gonna get a picture.
together. That
Do you
would
have a
be so
phone?
cool.
Thank you guys for joining us here at What Women Binge.
Can you do us a favor and give us an Apple Podcast review? It helps a lot.
Yeah, and while you're at it, you can follow What Women Binge on Instagram.
And follow me on Instagram at Amanda WWB.
If you like listening to the podcast, you would love seeing it. So you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Melissa Joan Hart Official, for full episodes, bonus content, and so much more. What Women Binge is produced by Laugh-O-Gram Studios. Our wonderful theme song was written and produced by my cute husband, Mark Wilkerson. Video production by Matt Giesler and Jay Hawley. Audio by Matt Lott. Production assistant Jen Best. And she is the best. What Women Binge is distributed by Podcast Heat. For more information, visit podcastheat.com. Do you have a question or a comment or a topic you want to suggest for the show? Well, we are listening. Email us at wwbquestions@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you.